Saskatchewan housing market showed no signs of slowing down this September as new data from the Saskatchewan Realtors Association revealed the second strongest September for home sales on record.
This is the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast.
Across the province, there were 1,528 residential sales, up 10% compared to last year, and an impressive 26% above the long-term 10-year average. That means Saskatchewan has now recorded 27 consecutive months of above-average sales, an extraordinary run that continues to set the province apart from most of the Canadian housing market. So what is driving the momentum? It's a combination of strong demand, low inventory, and affordability that's still far better than most provinces in the country. While other regions have struggled with rising rates and slower activity, Saskatchewan's market continues to defy national trends. New listings did see a modest uptick, up about 5% year over year, but they still remain 9% below the 10-year average. That imbalance between supply and demand continues to put downward pressure on inventory. In fact, total provincial inventory levels fell 14% compared to last year and now sit over 40% below historical averages. Out of nearly 4,900 active listings in the province, close to 950 are already conditionally sold, meaning those homes are already in the process of leaving the market. That leaves Saskatchewan with just under 4,000 available properties heading into October, a remarkably tight supply for this time of year. Despite that strong demand, benchmark prices did show a slight seasonal dip, falling to $368,300 in September. That is normal for this time of year as activity cools slightly heading into fall, but even with that dip, prices are still up 7% compared to September 2024, a clear indication that the long-term trend remains upward. CEO Krishna of the Saskatchewan Realtors Association summed it up well, saying that demand for housing remains strong across the province and that Saskatchewan continues to chart its own path, defying national narratives. All 6 economic regions across Saskatchewan reported year-over-year sales gains in September, and every one of them remains well above their long-term averages. The Regina, Moose Mountain, and Saskatoon bigger regions continue to experience the tightest market conditions in the province, with low supply and persistent buyer activity. Meanwhile, several smaller regions have seen dramatic tightening as well. In Swift Current, Moose Jaw, Yorkton, Melville, and Prince Albert, inventory has dropped to less than 5 months of supply, a sign of continued upward pressure on prices moving into the end of the year. Price gains were widespread in September, but a few markets really stood out. The city of Estevan led the province with a 15% increase in its residential benchmark price compared to last year. That's the strongest growth rate in Saskatchewan. Right behind it was Humboldt, where prices jumped 14% year over year. Other strong performers included Melfort, Weyburn, Moose Jaw, and Prince Albert, all of which posted double-digit price gains over September 2024. That's 5 consecutive months now where every region in the province has reported year-over-year price growth, something that's rarely seen in other parts of Canada.
Real estate investing does not have to be a full-time job. Randall, Hoeber, and Boys Group Realty provide complete property management services in Yorkton and surrounding areas, allowing investors to enjoy passive income without the headaches of day-to-day management. From finding tenants to handling maintenance and rent collection. Whether you own a property or are just getting started in the market, Randall, Hoeber, and Boys Group Realty makes it simple. Call Randall Hoeber at 306-782-1323 or email info@ralixenterprises.com to take the next step towards hands-free real estate investing. Your property, our expertise. Whether it's your home, business, or farm, Pioneer Solar and Renewables has you covered. As leaders in residential, commercial, and agriculture solar solutions, they make clean energy easy and affordable. Visit pioneersolarenergy.com or give them a call to begin harnessing the power of the sun today. Are you investing in real estate? Let Krishna with Boys Group Realty take care of everything. Finding properties, purchasing, renovations, leasing, and management, leaving you to focus on building wealth. Whether it's a single rental or an entire portfolio, serving Saskatoon and surrounding areas, helping maximize cash flows and minimize stress. If you're looking for an expert to manage your investments, reach out today, home@meetkrishna.ca.
In the provincial capital, Regina posted 375 sales in September, which not only beat August, but also set a new record for the strongest September ever. Sales were up 18% year over year and sat 37% over above the 10-year average. An incredible result given where most other markets are sitting. Regina also saw a surge in new listings, up 16% year over year, but strong buyer activity quickly absorbed most of that new supply. Out of the 780 active listings at the end of the month, more than 200 were conditionally sold, leaving just 577 active properties heading into October. Regina's benchmark price dipped slightly to $337,000, down from $341,300 in August, but still 5% higher than a year ago. Again, a classic sign of a market cooling slightly with the seasons, but still trending strongly upward overall. Saskatoon told a slightly different story. Sales in the city came in at 426 units, which is down about 1% from last year. A small dip, but still more than 20% above the 10-year average. That's a strong showing in context, given that Saskatoon continues to face inventory challenges that are limiting overall sales volume. The city added 726 listings in September, up 11% year over year, which provided some much needed supply. Still, inventory levels barely moved from August because demand quickly absorbed the new stock. At month's end, there were 942 active listings, but more than 250 of those were conditionally sold, leaving just 678 active listings of available homes. Saskatoon's benchmark price came in at $431,400, slightly down from August's record high of $435,900, but still up 7% compared to September 2024. That's another example of how prices are easing seasonally, yet maintaining impressive year-over-year gains. When we step back and look at the broader trend, Saskatchewan's housing market remains one of the most resilient in Canada. Sales through the first 3 quarters of 2025 are 20% higher than the 10-year average, even as many other provinces are seeing transaction volumes fall. Affordability continues to be one of Saskatchewan's strongest advantages, though. While rising interest rates have cooled demand in major metropolitan areas across the country, Saskatchewan's relatively lower home prices and strong job market have kept buyers active, especially local buyers who see long-term value in owning here. Inventory remains the key story. With supply sitting more than 40% below normal, it's clear that sellers continue to hold a strong position in many local markets, and prices are unlikely to see any significant downward pressure unless listing activity picks up meaningfully. To sum up September, Saskatchewan's housing market delivered another impressive month. The province saw near record sales, ongoing inventory shortages, and steady year-over-year price growth. Several regions stood out, including Estevan, Humboldt, and Regina, all posting strong performances that highlight just how resilient Saskatchewan's market remains. While activity will naturally cool as we head deeper into fall, Saskatchewan's market remains one of the most active and balanced in the country, a sign of continued confidence in the province's real estate fundamentals. The Saskatchewan Realtors Association supports over 1,700 realtors across the province. Their members provide expert insights to help you navigate the market. Visit sra.ca for monthly stats, industry updates, and to find a realtor near you. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it, found it informative. If you did, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button. Until next week, my name is Ron Quaroni, your Saskatchewan mortgage professional. Bye for now.